Alright, so I got another matchup here of the Lizardmen facing off against the Bretonnians. And so in the front line here, I've got Saurus Warriors and Skink Cohorts on either flanks. And I was going to go for the Javelin variant just to give me some anti-large options against their cavalry flanks, but I think I ended up by bringing the Skink Cohort by mistake. But that's alright. I got the 2 units of Saurus Spears, and 2 units of Saurus Warriors. In the forest over here, I've got a group of feral cold ones. I just like bringing the raptors. They rampage pretty quickly, but they're fairly cheap and they have armor piercing, so I just wanted to bring them. I'm going to be led by Kroq-gar today, and I got Hand of the Gods and all those other goodies, so he should do quite well. I got a Skink Priest with the Law of Heavens, and I got him on the normal Stegodon because this one has a ballista, and it's got really long range, 360 range, which is really tough. So he should be doing some really good range support. I got the solar engine because I wanted a little bit of artillery. I didn't realize it was only 240 range, but still pretty decent. I got a feral bastillodon, and then of course I've got a rev crystal. And for my opponent, he's got a unit of Knights of the Realm and Questing Knights, and he's got them on either flank. And then he's got a front line of Battle Pilgrims, which is really good because they have Frenzy, which means they're immune to psychology. Sorry, they're immune to psychology, which is really good against the dinosaurs, except they might get, excuse me, they might be run down by those dinosaurs in the front line, but they should do fairly well against the Saurus Warriors. And he's brought Alberic, which is a really good pick because he's got anti-large, he causes terror as well. He's got armor piercing, so he should do fairly well against some of the dinosaurs. They've got 2 units of polearms, a Lure of Life caster, and 3 units of peasant bowmen. Personally, I might choose the Lure of Light caster. It's good to have that healing, but when you're going up against the dinos, maybe a net of Emmentok might be a little bit stronger. So as soon as the match starts, my Skink Priest is going to be shooting his ballista straight into those questing knights and start dropping some models. And I realized that they don't have any like long ranged artillery or anything like that. I got the real ranged advantage. I had to start putting pressure on them from the start. So he's going to be shooting in. He's going to be dropping a few models. I think he's got another couple. Yeah, so he's already knocked out 4 units before the match has even really started. And then my solar engine's going to be shooting in there. Sorry, I missed that. Dropping 5 of those knights that are on, which is really good. And then my opponent does a really good job because there's this little crest in the terrain here of hiding under that so that the solar engine can't shoot him. Fortunately, the ballista from the Skink Priest can still shoot him. It arcs over the terrain, which is really good. So he can still shoot in fine. I didn't realize that, so my Bastillodon's he's trying to go up to get a shot. He's gone off on a little bit of a mission there, and they're wrapping these guys around, so I don't have the range firepower on the left flank. But I'm shifting unit of Saurus Spears over here, and he doesn't know about my feral cold ones in the forest here. So the frontline engagement is about to go underway, and we'll see how we go. So that one's still shooting in, dropping a couple models there. Just dropped another 2. I should be targeted onto the Knights of the Realm because of their what do you call anti-large bonus, but it's fine. The Questing Knights is still a pretty decent target. So my feral cold ones didn't get spotted there, and the frontline engagement's about to begin as they charge in there. I notice all the range fire coming in, and my Saurus Warriors should do quite well there, but my skinks on this side, I don't think they're going to fare particularly well against the Battle Pilgrims there. So he's wrapping around to my flank here, which is quite good, but I got these feral cold ones coming out of the forest here to tie them down. They should be able to catch them because they go 70 speed and these ones go 75, so they should be able to catch them quite well once they get their charge acceleration bonus, I think it's called. So I sent Kroq-gar into the front line, but I wasn't expecting him to literally just run straight through them and out the other end. So he's in a little bit of a precarious situation here as he's got 2 polearms right in front of him and 3 units of peasant bowmen. I'll start focusing him down. This is a position where a net of Emmentok would have been really good, but he's got a Lure of Life caster, which is fine. So I think he's going to be popping some healing down to the front line soon. Yeah, there we go. And he's going to try and get a little bit of a surround. So I realize what's going on, and he's landing. He's landing Alberic. So I'm going to pop a Swiftness of Itzel to break up the formation and just get out of there. I do not want to be in there. How much damage I've already taken, like down to almost half health. So on the right flank, it looks like they're going to be charging in now. That thing shoots in all directions. Wow, that is excellent. Popping that's slowing, right? Yeah, they got the little skinks throwing poison jabs into the side. That's really cool. This guy's still shooting in, and then yeah, these guys are tied. These feral cold ones are tying down both these groups of cav, which is awesome, and it allows these spearmen to catch up, and they should do quite well against those guys. And they're still pouring the archer fire into him, so I'm going to pop a rev crystal on him to heal him up. But I really need to get my dinos in there because these frontline Saurus and these skinks are going to do. They're going to do alright, I guess, but I really need to get my dinos in there and doing some battle. So they're going to come in here and recharge into my Bastillodon, and they should do alright with that anti-large bonus. So I'm pulling Grimlock to start attacking Borderlo now that I'm in a bit of a better position. We'll be focusing down my dinosaurs here. My feral dinosaur is just going to be causing carnage in the back lines. So I'm going to be pulling my Lord in to attack him there, and he's going to be sending his pole arms up to trying to gank down Kroq-gar there. And just in the back here, I think they're going to start, yeah, they're going to be breaking away from that and start looping around here. And I think I've lost control. Oh no, they're routing those feral coal ones. So I have to get those spearmen back doing their jobs, and they're surrounding my Bastillodon over here, and those questing knights are just going to run through those skink priests like they're nothing. So they're going to send Alberic over here to try and attack my Rev Crystal, because I think he realizes all the healing is going to be so beneficial to Kroq-gar. I think the thing gets like 10 charges. So send my skink priest with Lord of Heavens over there to help out. I'll just try and gank down their lord, because I don't want my Rev Crystal taking too much damage. Kroq-gar's going to get it out of those that halberd combat, and these Saurus warriors are going to pull in and tie them units down. And then Kroq-gar's going to move up here, and I'm going to try point blank Hand of the Gods. I think that thing's better at long range, but definitely going to send Kroq-gar in to tie him down, try and deal with him. And I cast a chain lightning over here to try and hit some. I think that's doing a little bit of friendly fire, but it's hitting those pole arms. Not the best cast because they're not exactly blobbed up. These feral coal ones look like they've come back from their rampage, and they're getting revenge on these questing knights. So they're tying down these 2 units again. So they're doing really well for me. And these spearmen over here looks like they're doing nothing. So I definitely need to get them doing their work. And these skin cohorts have rallied, and they're coming back in. They're still cycle charging out my Bastillodon, but he's really tough. He's hard to bring down. So they're bringing in that unit of pole arms there. And Kroq-gar's going to be chasing off their lord. There, and this group of dinosaurs is just going to mash through these battle pilgrims. This feral Bastillodon did wonders for me, because he ended up by rampaging, and then he just started going into their back lines, and I didn't really have to worry about him too much. So Kroq-gar's taken a bit of damage. He's down to half health, so I'm going to pop another Rev Crystal in him. But I see an opportunity here to go for their caster, because they've got nothing in the back defending here. I should be able to run straight to those peasant bowmen and go straight for their caster, shut down those healing or whatever other spells they've got there. Looks like they're lining up for a rear charge with their questing knights here against my my Saurus warriors, which is quite good. And yeah, it looks like they managed to break away from those feral coal ones. I think they ended up by killing them off. Yeah, Kroq-gar's just gonna eat. He's just gonna, yeah, that damsel doesn't have much of a chance. And Alberic's gonna rally, but he's really weak. I definitely want to shut that healing down. She's almost dead. Yeah, that's going to do a rear charge in here, that's just quite good, because those knights that have that anti-large bonus, as I was saying before, so they should do alright. Just trying to focus down that Rev Crystal. I just got both my lords in here, so it's going to be a little bit tough. And I'm cop a Curse of the Midnight Wind to lower their armor and melee attack, so they can't really do a lot of damage, and then my dinosaurs should just run through them quite well. And yeah, my Bastillodon's starting to take a fair amount of damage. He's starting to get quite low, so Alberic's coming through, and he's trying to kill off some of my dinos here. I pull Kroq-gar back to deal with this group of cavalry in the middle here, and my spearmen have finally come back, so they've practically got full health. Actually, they do have full health, so they should be able to do quite well against those questing knights there, which is excellent for me. And I need to be turning my Bastillodon around to try and hit on Alberic, sorry. But he's taking quite a bit of damage, so I'm pulling over my other dinos to try and finish off Alberic there. These Saurus, yeah, they're rampaging, and they're just going to get run down by those questing knights, no worries whatsoever. I switch him back onto range support, so he's just shooting at some of those battle pilgrims, and he's got him shooting at some of those knights of the realm on that side there. And I think we've routed off their lord. Yeah, we've shattered him. So I don't think Bretonnia can come back from this one. Yeah, just going to be shooting into them a little bit more. And bringing up the rest of my units, and they're going to make a final push. But I don't think they have much of a chance left. Kroq-gar is just going to be running into their lines. Yeah, they're just... they're not going to do... They're not going to last very much longer. And then, yeah, army loss is going to kick in. And then the Lizardmen are going to take the field. So my opponent did really well there. I quite liked some of the components of his build. The Knights of the Realm, quite good against anti-large. The Questing Knights, the armor piercing. They seem like a good combo on either flank. Peasant Bowmen, they did quite well at focusing down my units, but maybe I think Poison Arrows. I don't know how much more expensive they are, but I think the Poison Arrows would be good. But what he really needed was a net of Emmentok or something, because he was to net down Kroq-gar. And then focus all that archer fire, and that could have been a big issue for me, because then he could have chased him off with Alberic with his anti-large. He did have some good anti-large with these polearms, and these battle pilgrims were quite good with their frenzy. But I think I just had too many dinos, and my feral Bastillodon he was rampaging and he just went into the back lines there. I did a good job of cutting down my skink cohorts. Again, I should have probably had the javelin variant, but they did alright at just soaking up the charge, or just tying down those units. And these feral cold ones, they just kept coming back and just out of rampage and just tying down those two units, so they did really well for me. These Saurus did really well on the front line as well. Against those battle pilgrims, they did quite well. My skink priest, I really liked. I was popping a few Curse of the Midnight Winds to help me out there, and the ballista on the top was just so good at just dropping models on those cavalry before the battle even started, so just putting pressure on there. And then, yeah, my Bastillodon, the Rev Crystal was just excellent. I just popped that like 3 or 4 times on Kroq-gar, because he just took so much damage when he came down the middle there. But yeah, it was a super fun game. Probably with Bretonnia, I don't know if, yeah, definitely need a light caster. Definitely need, maybe some Royal Pegasus Knights. I think some Royal Pegasus Knights or some Royal Hippogriff Knights might have been quite good. They might have gone to my back lines and shut some units down there. I think that might have been a good option. Maybe some Hippogriff Knights. Probably, yeah, it probably had a couple too many units. Maybe cut like one unit of Battle Pilgrims or 2 units. And yeah, it's hard to say, because Lizardmen is just so tough with all those dinosaurs. So it's really tough for it's really challenging for Bretonnia to face off against them. But he definitely did well. He definitely did his best. But yeah, that was a super fun game. So GG.